Alright, good afternoon YouTube. Welcome to Ferret Face Film Productions. So as you can tell, I'm out here on the good old MR Pro. So wanted to do a little bit easier ride, so we're kind of in the Bishop's Castle area in Colorado. So this mountain life is out here today with me trying out my FSC 300. Told him I might give him a free pass on that if you want some content for his channel. We always got to help each other out, so I'm here to help a brother out. So far the motor is very grunty at the bottom. I can feel it's running too rich. I'm pretty sure off the needle, the stock needle, is something that people always comment is a bit much. I actually have a new needle all ready for it, but I wanted to try out the stock, so it feels very rich on acceleration. But once I get towards opening it up, it doesn't feel too bad. It's very grunty. Feels actually a lot like the grunt of my 300 four-stroke back there. So, for those of you that may not know who or what Rieju is, they are the continuation of what the real Spanish Gasgas is and or I guess was. They are making bikes again now, so and they've been around in Spain and Europe for a lot of years, like 1940 a lot of years. So they mostly make like mopeds and small motorcycles. So now that they've migrated to the real Spanish enduro game, they bought the rights to this bike after KTM bought their 60% share in Gasgas and decided they did not want the enduro platform at all. So Rieju has actually improved the platform since the end of the 2019 model year. The starting system was really quite a weak point for the Gasgas. And Rieju went with all new starter. They went with a different type of gear that engages to the flywheel, Spindex, different spring in there. They went to a fully lubricated I kind of call it a transmission assembly for the starter. So, and then of course stronger starter, better grounding on the bike for electrical, and they went to a powerful lithium battery, which is all things that have made the starting system more robust. Now, it's probably still not as robust as the internal types that are in a lot of the bikes these days, but I mean, I've heard great things, and we'll see myself about how well these do. Only time will tell as to how well they fix something. So the good news is they tried to do something to update it, make it better, whatever. And I feel like a lot of the home remedy fixes that people were doing, they just improved upon that. Keep coming, keep coming. Woo! Nice. Hopefully he doesn't stop on that. So some other cool features on the Rieju is full KYB suspension with the dual or the DLC coated shocks, closed cartridge fork, pretty much primo suspension, and that makes this thing at its $10,000 price point very, very competitive, and with a motor that truthfully really does match higher class bikes. A lot of people complain that this older motor is not counterbalanced, but being that I'm kind of sensitive to the vibrations when I'm going, it's not bad. At idle, I kind of notice a little bit of vibration, but once I'm going, it's not bad at all. Like, don't notice a lot through the handlebars, don't notice a lot through my feet. But yeah, we were just kind of talking about bikes and stuff, and another thing that you should know about the Rieju is that the seat height is 38 inches. So
if you're on the shorter side, I'm about like on the taller side of 5'7", if I don't slouch, maybe 5'8", and this, I can barely get on it, and I'm comfortable enough these days to where, you know what, if I'm gonna not be able to get my feet down, I just throw the bike on the ground and try again. So it doesn't bother me, but some of y'all out there, if you're on the shorter side, this might be a hard bike for you to get a hold. So KTM, about 60% of Gasgas. They wanted the trials bike stuff and some of the electric bike technology that they had, but they didn't really want the enduro line, and they bought the name Gasgas too. So, you know, I think the original talk started in, Gasgas was filing for bankruptcy, I think in 2015. And at that time, I think the Terriot Group is what ended up buying them. But KTM had actually looked at buying them at that time. And at the factory, I guess, in Spain, they had not welcomed them with open arms, so to speak, because of what happened to Husqvarna, closing down a factory. So, because of KTM, I should say. And that was, they had put like a mannequin with KTM gear on it and wrote in German that they weren't welcome there and this is not your home kind of thing, and they burned tires out in front of the building, like quite the spectacle. But Terriot Group ended up buying them, and they continued on, made some improvements to the platform, and then their sales dropped real bad. I think 2018 they dropped to 50% of their normal sales, and things were not good. So once again in financial trouble. And I believe in 19 was the deal that KTM bought them and was like, oh no, we're not gonna shut you guys down, and craziness. So I think we had a point where this is it. Look at my map. But shortly after KTM bought them, they announced that they were not going to be continuing to make the Spanish Gasgas Enduro model anymore, which was what everybody expected. So now Gasgas has basically been turned into a budget KTM. Yeah, they pretty much use all their budget parts and things on that KTM now, and it's like their entry-level bikes, and that's kind of sad when you think about it. This is a lot of fun. Blood flew in my mouth. So now that the Gasgas name is nothing but a KTM now, Rieju saw the opportunity to buy the intellectual property and set up the tooling and stuff for the enduro model Gasgas. That's huge. They're a company that I think has wanted into this game, and this is like their perfect segue. And given that they put a lot of effort into already trying to fix some issues and update the platform a little bit, it's looking like it's going to be a great thing. And we'll see how committed Rieju is, or how the game works for them. For a lot of that stuff, only time will tell, but they're supporting Legacy Gasgas and all parts and stuff. It definitely is just a very linear motor. There's a decent hit to it, but it's very, very nice. one of the changes that Rieju made kind of right away. Oh, it's beautiful on the front fork. So the first thing that he said that they upgraded was all the bearings on the bike. All the linkage bearings and everything else. I guess Gasgas was using some cheaper bearings that people had problems with. And yeah, so now I guess they switched to new bearings, and that has solved apparently a lot of problems. And then, of course, the starting system, which I talked in pretty good detail at this point. I love the torquiness, and I think I can do better with some power valve adjustment and jetting needle. Loosen up the suspension a little, see how that out here. Wow, what a trail. Whew. Man, that is beautiful. Powered map, a little bit less grabby on the power, softer and more torquey. Between the maps, while more mellow, this is just tried it all day, so this probably would have saved me a little bit of grief. Seems to be a lot more resistant to stalling. I learned that another thing that I like about this bike is, going back to the engine, is the versatileness. I was getting pretty frustrated with the throttle. And then I was like, there's another engine map on this thing. And on my Beta, I never use it because honestly, the rain map on my Beta is like, there's not a lot of difference to it, if I'm honest. But this one is a pretty big difference. It really mellows out the power delivery and doesn't give you the when you're bouncing on rocks and stuff, it's just not nearly as picky about, I guess, whiskey throttle. Like, it's just overall much more mellow, not as quick to respond to your throttle input, which is good when you're bouncing half to death on stuff. Huge fan. In fact, like, it almost feels like a totally different motor. I'm kind of impressed. I haven't used it all day on purpose because I just was trying to see what the differences were. And yeah, immediate difference climbing stuff. It takes a lot of the mid-range hit from out the pipe off. So it kind of takes that like spicy and mellows it out, and see, and it still has really good power. We'll switch back to the, yeah, you can instantly feel a little bit of a loss in low end when you go to that map. Yeah, it just doesn't sound quite as happy in that map. Which is interesting. Oh, wasn't paying attention. Don't mind me. This cabin you can rent. This is awesome. Some other buildings, I don't know what these are. Look like old homestead. Mingus Ranch. I think I might take a look. Yeah, I mean, I love historical stuff. This is real cool. The Mingus family. Sound like some hardy people to be out here doing that. That must have been their main house. Alright guys, so I'm going to finish this up. You know, my first impressions are, it's a very well balanced dirt bike with a phenomenal suspension, and you got an idiot riding it who doesn't really know how to ride Histroy very well. And I've learned throughout this day, I've also learned that I really, really love this bike. So there's so many positives to this. And at the $10,500 price point, I am all for it. So, and feel free to like and subscribe, and follow the journey of this bike along with my Chinese GPX Moto bikes that everybody likes to hate on. And yeah, we'll catch you all in the next one. Fair Face out.